everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a soft-spoken ASMR, and we're going to be reading a cooking book. Well, I guess kind of flipping through it, if anything. I kind of have a little bit of a cold, and that's why whispering kind of hurts a little bit. It's nothing serious, it's just a little bit of a sore throat, but I have been enjoying making a lot of videos, so I thought, I don't want to lose the rhythm of making videos, and a cold isn't going to stop me, so I'm okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you the book that I got from the library the other day. I have this book here with me called Mary Engelbrecht's. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but this is the season holiday cookbook. And well, before I actually start flipping through some pages, I want to tell you a little backstory. Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved cookbooks, especially the ones with the pictures. If they did not have pictures, I would not get them. That's just the kind of kid I was, and I have found it such a joy to go back to the library and check some books out and kind of rediscover my love for reading. I've never been a huge reader most of my life, and I think it's nice that now libraries are opened up after, COVID, and a lot of people are using the library space as they used to before. So I think I've just really enjoyed that. So yeah, I just hopefully reading is just something that I really want to continue working on. And I think I just really want to get to a point where I find books that I enjoy, and one of them is cookbooks. I like flipping through the pages and seeing different recipes and just getting super excited about making those recipes in the future. So yeah, this is the cookbook that I chose, but also I have a little cup of tea with me. This actually is kind of cold now because it's been sitting for maybe 30 minutes. So it's a little cold. It's okay though, it'll still keep me company. I think it's so funny because it says my husband is hotter than my coffee. I didn't get it, I promise. My friends got it for kind of our housewarming newlywed gift. So I think it's kind of a cute joke. So yeah. And today's tea, I'm drinking green tea. I have been trying to drink other teas more often, but I think just growing up in an Asian household, we've just always drank green tea or boricha, which is barley tea. A lot of Korean people drink it, and I've just been so accommodated to that. Anytime I drink other new teas, I don't know, I think this is kind of like my comfort tea. I have been also really loving Earl Grey tea, so yeah, if you have any tea recommendations, let me know, because I am still trying to find like the tea, or maybe like a tea company that I really like, but I've just been kind of just drinking whatever is just in my counter. So yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my tea down here. Okay. And I will get started with this cooking book. So I won't go through the entire book, but I've just kind of skimmed through so far of what kind of recipes I'd like to make. So we'll just go through it. I'm going to read a little bit of the beginning here that tells a little bit more about what this cooking book stands for. It says, I'm reading the inside of the book here, from Mary Engelbrecht's nationally acclaimed Queen of the Kitchen comes the ultimate holiday cookbook. This the season holiday cookbook abounds with recipes for the most beloved dishes, with dozens of ideas for celebration fun, tips to make a cooking joy, and luscious color photographs to tempt and inspire. As millions of Mary's fans know, Mary's approach to the holiday means fun, not fuss, simple, not complicated, with the results being original, not predictable. These are the delicious recipes you will turn to year after year, starting at Thanksgiving with succulent turkey, snappy cranberry relish, and heavenly pumpkin pie, through the Christmas bûche de Noël, I hope I'm saying that right, and the New Year's Day Hoppin' John. This season holiday cookbook will have your family and friends applauding the splendor of your table. A parade of wonderful soups, salads, pies, and tarts, cookies and candies awaits within to delight your guest. And then it says continue on back flap. I want to get a little bit of the sounds in, so I love the little pattern it has. I think it's so cute. It kind of gives me cute grandma vibes, but it's just so cute, you know? I think if the holiday doesn't have anything corny, it's not truly a holiday. You know, you kind of have to have those corny traditional prints. I also actually want to show you the front cover of the book. Looks like this. This the season. And you can see there's a teacup, a Christmas tree, there's some acorns, some cups again, candle, some fruits, and then it says the Queen of the Kitchen. I love the little cute characters here. Alright, so I'm gonna do a little bit of page flipping. So it starts off with the introduction on page 7, and then it goes from appetizers, soups and salads, main courses, vegetables and side dishes, desserts and beverages, and then the index. So I'll read the introduction here for you, and I apologize because I don't have my camera in the best angle right now, so I'm sure it's really hard to see it, but I will read it for you instead. It says Thanksgiving turkey, sweet potatoes and stuffing, cheesecakes and chocolate and gingerbread cookies. There are many reasons for celebrating the holidays, and one of the favorites is tied directly to the pleasures of the table. Every time I look forward to renewing my love affair with the dishes I've enjoyed since I was a girl, and discovering new treats for my family and friends. In this book, I've gathered my favorite recipes for the holiday foods I love. Some are as old-fashioned as gingerbread cookies, and others are brand new offerings tracked down by shopping on the web. But each and every one is divinely satisfying. Whether you're the chef in your house, like my husband Phil is ours, or just an enthusiastic connoisseur, as I am, I hope you will enjoy flipping through these pages, putting them together an amazing feast, and sharing it with your loved ones. Happy holidays from Mary. And there's a cute little picture of a kid wearing very festive Christmas stuff. And then there's also, so here on this page it has the cookies. I'm blanking out. They're gingerbread cookies, and they're shaped like little dogs, and they have little sweaters on them. Cute. Alright, so chapter 1 is the appetizers. So appetizers meaning just kind of the beginning dishes. there she is again, the cute little character. And it seems like the first picture is broccoli. So let's see what kind of appetizers there are. I'm gonna look through and see which ones I really like and want to recreate as well. Ooh, I've actually been really into soups these days, so this is something that I really want to make. This is the smoky butternut squash soup. And I'll read what's on the left here. It says, we specify butternut squash because it's so sweet. But the truth is, you can make the soup with any winter squash you like. Why not brew up a batch in advance, as much as 2 days ahead, so you'll be ready to kick off the weekend when guests arrive. When reheating, thin the soup with a little chicken stock or water. So this is what the recipe requires. It requires 4 slices of bacon, 3 pounds, about 2 small butternut squash, 3 tablespoons unsalted butter, 2 large onions coarsely chopped, 2 small carrots halved lengthwise and thinly sliced, 2 small celery stalks thinly sliced, 2 garlic cloves minced, 3 4 teaspoons of salt or more to taste, 3 3/4 cups of chicken stock or low sodium chicken broth, and 2 tablespoons thinly silvered fresh sage or 2 teaspoons dried, 1/4 teaspoon freshly ground pepper. So I'll read over some of the directions very briefly. Number 1, it says, in a large pot, cook the bacon over a medium-low heat, stirring occasionally until golden brown and crisp. Using a slotted spoon, transfer the bacon to paper towels to drain, then crumble and set aside. And then pour off and discard the fat from the pot and set the pot aside. Meanwhile, cut the butternut squash in half lengthwise and scrape out the seeds. Cut each half lengthwise and each half again, and using a sharp paring knife, peel the squash. Cut the squash into 3/4 inch chunks, and then go ahead and melt the butter in pot over medium heat. Add the onions, carrots, celery, garlic, and 1/4 teaspoon salt and cook, stirring until the onions are translucent. So it says 10 to 12 minutes, add the squash stock and bring it to simmer, and then keep stirring. In batches, puree the soup in a blender until smooth and return to the pot. Stir in the sage and season with remaining 1/2 teaspoon salt and pepper. Reheat over medium heat, stirring occasionally until hot. And ladle into bowls and sprinkle some of the crumbled bacon in the center of each serving. That looks so good. You can see right here. That's what it should look like. I've always been a very big fan of broccoli cheddar. And actually in a Korean dish, I actually don't know, I think it's very similar. I think it's called hobakjuk, so probably the same thing. We have something very similar, but in a Korean dish we actually put rice cakes in it. I'll try to find that recipe, but I'm sure it's very similar, where you get, maybe, actually no, hobak is pumpkin, so it's like a pumpkin squash pureed kind of soup. I'm sure it'll taste very similar, but because it's pumpkin, usually it's just a lot sweeter. Alright, so I think the next couple recipes are all soups. I'm gonna go ahead and see what other recipes there are in terms of actually food. I'm gonna just kind of flip through and see what I really like. They have pork loins, they have some roasted turkeys. They also have, let's see, a sausage gumbo. That sounds really good. Well, I actually was in Louisiana a little bit ago, and I was able to try some of Louisiana's most famous gumbo and jambalaya and etouffee, and delicious. I guarantee they just have the best classic New Orleans food that you are looking for. It is amazing there. The food and the nightlife is beautiful in my opinion, and I think it's such a great place to be. It's definitely different than where I usually live, and I think it was just like a breath of fresh air, and all those restaurants kind of in town just made it so much more, I don't know, real, rather than seeing it in photos and in movies. So yeah, definitely a place that I would love to visit back in the future. So I'm gonna read this shrimp and sausage gumbo recipe. This doesn't have a picture, but I will show you real quick. It says the gumbo is actually a creolization of the African word gumbo, which is another name for okra. I hope I'm saying the okra. Little wonder then that it suits Kwanzaa celebrations so well. So there's a couple different recipes here. Probably needs the frozen okra, red onions, celery, bell peppers, parsley, garlic cloves, bay leaf, salt, pepper, thyme, and then some chicken broth, tomato paste, water, tomatoes, other vegetables. And yeah, these are all just amazing recipes right here. I'm already drooling by just listening to the entire ingredient list. So in a large bowl, stir together with the okra, onions, celery, bell peppers, 1/4 cup of parsley, the garlic, bay leaf, salt, pepper, ground red pepper, thyme, and allspice combined well. Set the mixture aside. And then in a large Dutch oven or large heavy pot, cook the sausage, stirring constantly over medium heat for about 6 minutes, or until lightly browned. With a slotted spoon, transfer to a bowl. Pour the fat from the pan into a glass, and measure and add enough vegetable oil to measure 1½ cup. Return the oil to the pot and heat over medium-low heat, scraping off any browned bits on the bottom of the pot. Gradually add the flour and cook, stirring frequently for about 30 minutes or until it lasts very dark, rich brown color. Immediately add the broth and scrape up any browned bits. Blend the tomato and water and add to the pot along with the vegetable mixture, the sausages, and the tomatoes for 1 hour. Stir in the shrimp, scallions, and the remaining 1/2 cup of parsley. Add the vinegar, remove the Dutch oven from the heat, cover and let it stand for 10 minutes. Remove and discard the bay leaf and serve the gumbo in bowls with rice. The best part. So yeah, if you haven't ever had a gumbo, it is such a good recipe. I highly recommend you trying one if you haven't tried before. I'm gonna take a quiet little tea break because my throat's getting pretty dry. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. I want to find a good like a dessert recipe. I love potatoes. I actually recently made a sweet potato honey. It's literally just sweet potato. You put it in the air fryer and then you drizzle honey on it. It's so good though. let's go ahead and see what kind of desserts they have. Okay, this was what I was looking for. I am the biggest fan of cheesecake, and I love cheesecake. New York style cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake, you name it. So I was looking for this recipe. I'm glad I found it. So this is the chocolate chestnut cheesecake recipe right here. And I'll read a little bit. It's a, let's see, vanilla spiked whipped cream topping. This cheesecake is rich every step of the way. Naturally, it must be dolled up in small spices. So they give you the recipe to make the crust and then the chocolate chestnut filling. Alright, so this one is asking for make the crust into a medium bowl. Sift together the flour, sugar, and salt with a pastry blender or 2 knives. Cut in the butter until the mixture resembles coarsemeal. Form the dough into a ball, then press evenly over the bottom and up the side of a 10-inch springform pan. Refrigerate for at least 1 hour or overnight. So then next you have to go ahead and preheat the oven for 350 Fahrenheit. And then you go ahead and make the chestnut filling. You melt the chocolates and you mix it over low heat. In a large bowl, beat the ricotta with an electric mixture at high speed until smooth. Reduce the speed to low and add the chestnut puree and beat until well combined. Add the sugar, melt the chocolate, vanilla and sour cream and beat until smooth. Pour into a pie shell and smooth the top. Bake the cheesecake for 1.5 hours or until the center is firm. Cool the cheesecake in the pan on a wire rack for 1 hour. Refrigerate covered for at least 4 hours overnight. That is a very big step because last time I tried to make a cheesecake, I did not wait enough and it just became a mousse and it was not very cheesecake-like. Let the cake stand at a room temperature for 30 minutes before serving and remove the side of the springform pan and then serve. And I love how they say garnish with candied whole chestnuts if desired. I love that, make it extra festive. So just because my throat a little hurts, so just because my throat hurts a little bit, I'm gonna cut off the video a little earlier today. But I hope you enjoyed my reading today. I am hoping to introduce more books that I like and that I discover. If you want to make this, if you like this as a series, I'd love to just read this for you. There is a YouTuber named Library Whispers, or Library of Whispers, and she just has the calmest voice ever. I love listening to her read and flip through magazines. So if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely a shout out. She is amazing. But I hope you have a good night, and I will see you in the next video.